Hello Virgo, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If Virgo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Virgo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And the Six of Cups, very nice. This is some very tranquil energy. This is a card of pleasure. I feel like you're the kind of person who kind of wants wants everybody to feel like they belong. You know, I feel like you're very inclusive. I feel that this is the feeling of love and connection, right? That is a healing from a previous state, okay? And I think that it's an emotional thing. I think that when you see people suffer, it gives you no greater pleasure than to, in some way, alleviate that suffering for them. Do you know what I mean? Or help them to, or to see them improve a little bit. I feel like this is you. When you have anything good going on in your life, you're always wondering, how can I share it? How can I lift somebody else up too? You know, when you have all this joy, all this, jubilant energy, you just kind of rush out and you think of ways that you can brighten somebody else's day. It feels like, this feels like really like KEANU Reeves vibes today, because I feel like you're the one that you're looking for opportunities to do something nice. You're looking for opportunities to make one of these Six of Cups moments. These are those peak experiences of life. This is sort of making an impact in someone else's day where they're going to, maybe never met them before, they're going to go home and be like, I met this really cool person on the subway today, Or, well, there's this really, really wonderful person at the coffee shop that just I don't know, paid for my drink. You ever do the pay it forward kind of thing at the, I used to go through, this was about, right after my transplant, it was about 14 years ago. I went to Starbucks for the first time again in months, after my surgery. Or one of these popular local coffee shops anyway. And, driving through the drive-through, I get to the window, and the person said, oh, no, the person in front of you already paid for you. And I says, what? And she said, yeah, they paid for your coffee. I said, well, that's really nice. I mean, is that a thing now, that people are doing that? And she says, sometimes people do it. And I said, okay, well, I want to do it too for whoever's behind me. And of course, there was 5 people in the car, and it cost me too much money, but that's okay. And I thought that was such a cool thing. And then every time I would go through because I used to do a driving job. And so in the mornings, I would stop by a drive-thru and get a cup of coffee and go do my work, And I made it a point to always say, whoever's behind me, I'm going to get their stuff, And it's early in the morning. Usually it's just someone getting coffee or a little something to eat on their way to work too. So it's not like it was, thousands of dollars or anything. But I find that it was such a great way to start the day, And it's like I feel like you're on the bus or in the subway, and you're looking for someone that you maybe can offer your seat to. Like you have that sort of vibe right now. You want to brighten somebody else's day. So what's going on with you where you have all of this extra jubilant energy? Yeah, let's find out. Let's put this card into some context. This is very wonderful energy. And there's the bright sun too. It just feels like it's a really sunny day for you, and that makes me so happy. Here's, Queen of Pentacles. That is your superhero card, right? This is you fully in your Virgo energy. We've got a little Knight of Wands in the past position. Going the other way. Wheel of Fortune coming in. Oh, yeah. This is nice. But a Tower in the future, too. This is the calm, right, before the storm. This is the sweet spot of life before you're kind of on to the next big move in your life, the big level up, the big change, right? Over here we have a Three of Pentacles. Yeah, we've got the Hermit. That's your superpower. So we have your superpower card and your superhero card. So you are connected right now, big time, yeah? And there's another cardinal energy with the Knight of Swords and a Queen of Cups. So this is really, life is going to start getting a little bit more intense in the future, but right now seems like a sweet spot for you. Okay, so we're not going to overthink it. We're not going to overcomplicate it. This is really good energy. This is the moment, this is the calm in between these big, sort of maybe big projects or any kind of these very big, ambitious moments or big time life kind of changes that are going on. Okay, so I feel that with the past, that you're just coming off of a whirlwind of excitement, right? A lot of changes taking place. Now it's sort of just like, it's calm, I can enjoy it, I can have a routine. I think it's a celebration, and I think that there's the celebration because this very fiery, active period is done, but then also what that was for. I feel like that was a huge leveling up. And then of course we get a Tower in tomorrow's energy, and that's another leveling up. But right now, let's enjoy this level. You see what I mean? Let's also select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. And it's going to go right here with our tiny horse, Mr. Ed, right there on top. And also Libra, Virgo, excuse me. Don't forget that you are magic. All right. I'm looking at this card. This is a Libra power card here. And it's in the position of what you don't want. So there's a reason Libra popped into my mind. It's because of this card, and I don't know who that person is. I don't know if there's a Libra energy that it's sort of like we don't want to talk about them, right? That we're just, maybe it's an air sign person generally, or maybe this is the mental energy coming in. Okay, well, we'll talk about that in just a second. If you have a prediction for the mystery cards, I'm all fired up today. If you have a prediction for the mystery card, put it down in the comments. Let's do it together as a group exercise of intuition. Let's take a look around the room. We have our major, good major arcana energies. The sun is that glorious moment, that bright, shiny day, the sunshiny day, right in between these really huge projects that you're involved with, right? Big time changes that happen in your life, right? Big leveling ups, right? And so we do have the Tower, but it's all for a purpose. It's all part of the plan. It's all leading you to greater and greater things, more and more success. I mean, you're doing what you're meant to be doing, right? This Jupiter energy, this Wheel of Fortune is right at the top. It sort of encapsulates the whole reading. That this is the cycle of intense activity and bliss, intense activity and then bliss again. And we're in that moment of bliss right now. Okay. And we know that eventually we're going to have to sort of get back to the office, right? Get back to it's like you're on your lunch break. This is the morning, lunch break, and then this is the rest of the afternoon. And we know that eventually we're going to have to sort of head back inside, and so we got the Hermit there too, but that's beautiful energy because it's your superpower, right? So we got our majors. We don't have any fire except for these two are fiery cards, right? Kind of before and after we have fire. We got water here, we've got water here, we've got a little bit of air, and then we've got earth and earth. Now the air is the Libra stuff that I was talking about, because this is in the position of the obstacle or of what you don't want. And this is kind of like saying you're not really looking forward to tomorrow because you know that you're going to have to go deal with this person. But don't let this conflict or this energy, I feel like this is like, it's kind of like one of those know-it-all people in your life. This is somebody that you're really just not excited to talk to. They could be a Libra person. I don't want to throw Libra under the bus. It could be an air sign person generally, or it could just be, you know who they are. I don't. And it's just kind of like saying, I'm not going to let this person spoil my day. What if this person just seems like they have just always like something negative to say, or they're always trying to rain on the parade rather than just being. It's like, can't we just be here in this glorious moment? You got to always like be bringing the, maybe they're not even really that negative. They just bring the very practical sort of information. They bring up things. It's like, why are we talking about that now? Let's enjoy the day and have our lunch and sit here in this very wonderful, beautiful moment. Why do you got to bring up tomorrow's work? Maybe this is the person in your life that sort of always talks about work. It's like, let's just bask in the sunlight for a minute. Can you stop? But this is air energy, so it might even be those thoughts in your own head where it's just like, I'm trying not to think about work. I'm trying not to think about tomorrow or yesterday. I'm trying to think about right now and just bask in this glory. This is beautiful energy, right? And the Six of Cups really is that energy of sharing, right? It's an abundant Three of Cups trying to sort of equalize with a Three of Cups on the other side, right? So to me, it feels like one of those concentration gradients, in like in physiology or something, or in, I guess in everything, where an area of let's say higher temperature or higher energy is going to sort of equalize with an area of lower energy, of colder temperatures or something like that, of less energy, right? And so there is that concentration gradient where it just kind of like takes from what's higher and builds up what's less. Right? The I Ching talks about that a lot too. That when there's this abundance, that it's going to, the natural flow is to go and fill up something that doesn't have quite as much. So when you're overflowing with this joy, the feel-good energy for you is to equalize that, to give a little bit of that to some area of life that needs a little boost. And then we create one of these magical moments, one of these happiest, blissful, pleasurable peak experiences of life with another person, or maybe with nature, or with whatever. It's it's, to me, it's the kind of joy that you would get when you pick up a piece of trash from the beautiful park, I don't know, it sounds ridiculous, but it's true. Try it. Yeah. This is when you have more food than you need, and you find someone to share with. Hey, do you want half my sandwich? And I think you are the person that is, in the last reading, you were inviting everybody into your house to say, hey, can everyone come in? We'll make you some sandwiches. You're just inviting everybody in. And I think you learned your lesson last time, and you sort of shut and locked your doors, at times. But I feel like we're kind of right back to that energy. This is sort of explaining why. It creates such magical moments for you. It, I think, connects you with spirit in such a wonderful way. This is the sun is very generous. The sun shines and shines and shines, gives its light to everyone equally, right? It does not care, is just radiating light, and I feel that's you right now. And so I feel like you even, like we're on the Keanu Reeves vibe. He is a Virgo too, and I'm pretty sure he watches the reading. So shout out to Keanu, love you, man. He's been known anyway, the reports are that he will earn a lot of money from his movies, and he'll end up giving a lot of it away to some of the behind-the-scenes people, or he demands that a lot of the people that work on location are locals, from local shops and local people and things like this. So he very much is in that six of cups sort of energy about him. Anyway, according to the reports, I don't know him personally. I would like to. He seems like a nice guy. But the Sun card here, I find that this is really your true nature, that this is how you love to be. This is where you want to exist. And this is one of those moments in between where we hope it will never end. Can I just stay, right? Can the hours just roll by and I just stay right here in this moment? Underneath it all, you've got, of course, your Queen of Pentacles. This is you as your superhero, right? Which is a very practical energy. So this is that unconscious part of you. And this is in these moments, in these in-between moments, you see, from yesterday and tomorrow. In the in-between moment, your unconscious mind is processing what happened yesterday so you can prepare yourself for what's going to happen tomorrow, right? And very similar energies. These are very kind of almost chaotic energies. Well, let's stay with the Queen of Pentacles. Looking back at yesterday, and your unconscious mind is debriefing, right? It's recapitulating. It's absorbing and understanding and figuring out and it's distilling yesterday down to those digestible kernels of wisdom that you're going to apply to tomorrow's energy. And this is all happening underneath the surface while you're basking in the sunlight at the park, feeding the birds and watching the squirrels run around. Your unconscious mind is preparing you for the next big push in your life, okay? And so there's a reason why you take this sort of break. There's a reason why you don't want to think about the work. Your unconscious is doing it. There's a reason why this is just the joy, the sharing, the creation of that sort of infinite moment, that peak experience. It's not just you luxuriating, right? There's an unconscious process at work here that's very, very important to your well-being, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual well-being, and to your future activities, okay? And quick look at yesterday's energy is the Knight of Wands. Here's some very Aries energy, very intense. I feel like it was a whirlwind. I feel like you made a lot of progress in a very short time. It really does kind of remind me of like a movie or something where it's just there's all this intense activity, and it's kind of like you're going to be gone for a couple months, and it's going to be intense, and it's going to be nonstop. It's going to be really long hours, late nights, early mornings, grueling, right? But it's only for a couple months, and then it's bliss for a while, and then you got to go do it again, a few months later, whatever it is. But this was very intense. This was a lot of activity, and this almost really feels like a blur. And this is, I think, part of the reason why this is just pure fire, and that air energy is what we don't want, because it's just you don't want to consciously remember. This is like we go through an experience, and on the other side of it, it's almost like we sort of blocked it out. It's almost like I don't remember what I did. It's like, when I do these tarot readings, at the end of the day, my wife, she does Ula tea leaf readings, wonderful work. Go check out her channel, sub her channel. She's also a Virgo. She'll ask me, what were your readings about today? And I'm thinking, I don't even know. I don't even like talking about them really, because they're so immersive in the moment. It's such a fiery experience for me that when it's over, I can't really think about and put my mind back there and remember what did I talk about? What were the themes? What were the ideas? What was the message to Virgo? I don't really remember. I'd have to go back and look, And I feel like it's the same way with you, that it's just this burst of energy, this divine creative act. Maybe you're an artist. Maybe this is business. Maybe this is something with family. I don't know, whatever it is. It's that tremendous push. It's that whirlwind of artistic energy. It's the intense visitation of energy, right? That you don't know how to talk about after it's over. It's like the work's just going to have to speak for you, because there's no way for you to really intellectualize it or mentalize it. And I don't know that you could if you tried, right? It was such a magical moment. It was a spiritual experience that the mind is just like, I know it happened. I can see the painting I painted, but I don't know the details. I don't know what I had for lunch or whatever. So anyway, intense. It's a cycle for you. I think you go through these periods of intense activity, rest and bliss and recuperation, and then on to the next one. And it really, it really feels as if it's, I don't know, is the phoenix one of your symbols? I feel like the phoenix has become, anyway, lately, an important symbol for you. But I feel like the phoenix is rising from the ashes, fiery bird, right? Flies up, becomes ashes again on a new level, rises from the ashes, burns its way all the way to another level, and then is spent, is ashes, right? And so this is really that sort of intensity. It's like you go to the gym, you give it every single thing you have. You're reborn the next day, as the phoenix, and you're ready to just fire your thrusters up to the next level again. May not be day by day, we could be talking a year or a month or a week or whatever. Right. I feel like this is your cycle. I feel like this is how you're making tremendous progress in your life, and you're becoming very good at what you do. I think you know exactly how you are meant to operate. You have found the protocols that work for you. And I feel like your life is going to get so much better. It's continuing to get better and bigger. You're expanding your reach. You're expanding your horizons. You're expanding your bank account. Okay? The Jupiter energy, the Wheel of Fortune, is very much about the rewards coming in. Very much about physical, financial profit. Okay? It's the bestower of wealth, this card. Yeah, very, very good. And it may feel like you're just in the zone, like you're in this cycle, this flow of energy, and you don't want anything to break that flow. Because it kind of feels like you're just, I don't know, it feels like everything's very, very lucky, It feels like everything just sort of works out. And it's like you don't want any disturbance. You don't want anything to sort of, it's like you spun a top. And it's just like, nobody breathe, because that's going to mess up the top spinning. And if there was no friction, if there was no gravity, if there was no atmosphere, if there was no friction at all, that top that you spin would never stop until somebody breathes on it or shakes the table or, God forbid, tries to touch it, right? It's just kind of hands off, nobody breathe, nobody move. It's just, and it's going to keep going, keep spinning. And so I feel like that's kind of how we feel about life right now. Tomorrow's energy, of course, is the Tower. It's another exclamation point. And it's one of those big time changes. It's the big disruption. This is kind of like, maybe you have one of those jobs where you have to travel. This is you getting on the plane again. You're like, okay, it's going to be another month of just hardcore, push to get the sales, or whatever. And then when it's over, you're going to be right back here, I don't know, on the beach maybe. You're going to be right back here just in the glory, in the love, and it's going to be wonderful. And then whatever it is, a few weeks later, time to get back on the plane, do it again. Spirit's also showing me a key or something that you wear around your neck. There's a key. Keys are important to you. Yeah, the key, I don't know what is, skeleton key kind of thing. Anyway, let's talk about the path of the serpent. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. And it also supports the channel, and I really do appreciate that. We start your general energy with the Three of Pentacles. This is getting back to work, right? We know that there's going to be another leveling up. This is that, again, the exclamation point, the punctuation of life. I feel like your life is a series of punctuations. It's not like the Death card where it's slow and steady, consistent work, routine, You just sort of have punctuations. Punctuations. It's somebody that doesn't have like maybe a steady income, certain hourly rate, and then every paycheck is the same. It's kind of like you have, boom, big sale, boom, big stock return, dividends or whatever, right? And then boom, big lottery win or whatever it is. It's just kind of like, it's a series of punctuations. This is you sort of getting back to work with the next one. Okay, this is, again, it's like my boy KEANU. He's on to the next movie. Gets that boom, that big box office smash of a movie, and all the glory, everything, and then, okay, start working on the next one. Start training, start learning the lines, start getting into the character, start channeling that, that essence, that spirit, but starting to get everything put into place. Starting the work. Okay, and it's the boring part of the work. It's like I'm learning the lines, I'm getting into shape, I'm figuring out where it's going to be, I'm making arrangements, but it's all part of the process. Okay. And the Hermit energy too, I think, is part of that as well, because it's sort of like you're sort of withdrawing back into yourself in order to figure out what you're supposed to do, in order to tap into the energy of what's going to be needed from you in this next big exclamation point. So it's kind of like you go dark for a little while because you're preparing yourself spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically for your next role, your next big hit. Yeah. And Spirit's saying that there was some kind of a health thing recently. It was a joint, a bone or a joint that got injured or something. Yeah. I don't know where in your body, but a joint. I see a hinge, But the Hermit, it's very good because we're sort of channeling that inner light. We're tapping back into ourselves. We're sort of like you got to do this little Zen meditation before you go out and do this big, exciting and terrible work, And so this, it's your superpower. Your superpower is to be able to say, okay, I got to bring myself, I got to stay home. I've got to, I got to get the cats prepared. I've got to get the house in order. I've got to get myself in shape. I've got to learn my lines. I've got to, channel the spirit of the thing. I've got to get ready. I've got to prepare. This is that artist, that needs to prepare for the next big push, the next work. And so you're usually a very social person. You like to go out and do a lot of activities. You love being outside. You love that Six of Cups, that sense of community and of sharing all this, jubilation with the world. And then, of course, when it's time to sort of go back in. Time to go back in the house, because there's a lot to take care of. And maybe that's when we sort of are able to start discussing the plans with this Libra energy. This is, that Knight of Swords. But when we're over here, we didn't want that. See, when we're over here, this is the card we don't want. When we're over here now, this is the obstacle. So it's like we don't want it, but at some point we're going to need it. It's this is a living spread of cards, right? This is, nothing is fixed here. Everything is sort of moving and flowing and interacting with each other. I see all these cards sort of swirling together at different times, right? When we're over here, we don't want this card. We want to look at it. But when we're going up this way, this is something we need to deal with. And this is when we sort of begin the discussion. We begin the process. It's all right, okay, fine. I've had my coffee. Now we can talk about work. This is kind of saying, don't talk to me about work till I clock in. Clock in. Okay, what's the problem? What's on the agenda for today? No, when I'm meditating, don't talk to me. When I'm reading a book, don't talk to me. Before I've had my coffee, don't talk to me. It's kind of like you have to be in the right preparation in order to engage in certain things. So, it's well, in some ways, like it's for me, it's like when I'm in my street clothes, when I'm in my pajamas after the readings, when I'm running errands at the grocery store, it's like I can't really get into the zone to talk about these readings because I don't really, it's a different energy, And, of course, on the reverse of that, this is the preparation that you would undergo before you do what you do. So this is me, in the morning sort of clearing my head and getting my clothes on, tying my tie, and my own sort of process, my own kind of meditative process to begin this work. So it's kind of, don't talk to me till I've had my tarot reading or my coffee or my tea. Don't talk to me until I've put my tie on, that sort of thing. But then we deal with this energy, and this is maybe a person, maybe it's your own, the way you sort of, the way you compartmentalize your own thinking process, right? This might not be another person, it might be you. Might be saying, hey, when you're it's the weekend, I'm not thinking about work. And when one of those thoughts come in, it's just, no, get out of here. I'm not thinking about work. Now it's Monday again. I'm clocked in. Time to think about work. Right? And this is a very key component to your success, is your ability to turn it on when you need to and turn it off. Let it become unconscious. Let it be underneath the surface. Again, like we see here, underneath the surface. What you did yesterday is being unconsciously processed to help you with tomorrow. Okay? You don't need all the active. We don't have any swords cards here, right? Just this one. You're fully immersed in the experience when you're there. This is the Queen of Cups. This is emotional honesty, transparency, emotional intelligence. This is the depth of your soul, the depth of your feeling. But to me, this card right now is saying that you, when you're in whatever you're doing, whatever state you're in, you're fully immersed in that. When you're water, you're all water. Air energy, no, get out of here. No bubbles in the line here. You know? And so when we're in this Six of Cups, we're admitting none of that air. And it's kind of like when you're in character, you know, I don't know if Keanu Reeves is a method actor or not, but it's like when you're in character, people better address you by the character's name, you know. You know, to me, that's really been the key to your success, is the full immersion in what you're doing. You become it. A drop of water thrown into the ocean just becomes ocean. You become the ocean, you know. And I think this is really one. It allows you to really complete the experience, to get the full experience of it, to feel everything about it. It is complete, you know. And I think this is really allowing you also to connect with other people in that way, connect with the universe. Especially with that Six of Cups, connecting with other people and sharing in this jubilation is very important to you. And I think that it's this is sort of like that the concentration gradient too. You know, that you're sort of able to exude joy to other areas of life, other people, and so that now the water's there's not a cold spot and a hot spot. Now the water is just all perfect temperature. You know, it's very, very good. Let's look at the mystery card. What will this one be? Well, we have our Wheel of Fortune, our Three of Pentacles, maybe a 9 or a 10 of Pentacles. I think the 9 of Pentacles would be very good right now, just because of the image on that card, you know. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Let's just take a look. Oh, it's the Fool. Of course it's the Fool. The Fool is very much like the 9 of Pentacles in that way, where I said it's about the image. Maybe this is the better image. I'm going to look for the 9 of Pentacles real quick. Because I want to show you what I mean with the figure and how, to me, it sort of reminds me of the Fool. Of course, it'll probably be the very last card. Sorry, bear with me here. There we go. They look so freaking similar to me. The Fool and the figure on the 9 of Pentacles. Because that is what I imagine you to be, just sort of almost sauntering around, just free and just in the moment and enjoying and in the experience. The 9 of Pentacles. I mean, this figure is there immersed in whatever situation they're in and is part of it, part of nature. You're part of the scene. You belong there, right? Totally just in that zone, in that energy. And the Fool is really the similar idea. Okay. In the 9 of Pentacles, it is the Fool that then has achieved some success, right? And it's the same body language. You know, the Fool is in here sauntering in all these jewels and all this wealth, and you got your pets, your plants, your people. But underneath it all, it is the Fool. Underneath it all, it is this ability to become anything that you will, anything that you put your mind to, and you become that. The Fool is the method actor. You know, and of course we get into some more psychological or even philosophical problems, which is who is the actor when they're not in character? Who is the real essence? Who is the real you? You know, I feel like we're always. I mean, I think that the Fool is the pure spirit, which isn't. There is no identity. You know, it's a big fat zero. It is just essence. It's just spirit. We have to immerse ourselves in a role. We all do it at all times. Sometimes we're sort of not fully committed to any one role. Sometimes we're sort of a blending of two. But the method actor kind of analogy, I think, really works for the Fool. It's the pure spirit putting on whatever costume, clothes, and energy it needs. And understanding how that works. And making it work very successfully. In a very, very good way. As the Fool. Beautiful. Beautiful reading. Love your energy right now. We're going to do an extended. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Virgo Tuesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. Doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.